Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is fellow Harvest member Melissa Beach. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome to the neighborhood. Melissa has a really cool story because you're a fresh face in the industry, right?
Yep.
So you are working for a family business and just out of college,
Yep.
and kind of just getting thrown in to the wolves, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Awesome. So tell everybody a little bit about your business, about the family business, and what your role is now in the business.
Yeah. So I work for my dad, and he owns a business called Precision Business Brokers and Precision Commercial Realty. And pretty much we have a suite of services that are investment sales. We do asset management, we do business brokerage, and we do commercial leasing.
So if somebody says, hey, I own a pizza place, I want to sell the building and the business and everything.
Yeah, that's one great thing about us is that we can do both, not just, help you sell the land, but we can also wrap that in and sell your business as well, and we'll sell your business confidentially.
Nice. And is this what you went to school for? Did you go to school to work for your dad, or did you just get out of school and go, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do?
Honestly, no. I went to school. I remember my freshman year, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then sophomore year, I was like, I guess I'll go into marketing. So I did that, graduated with a marketing degree, and I didn't really know, what was next for me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go get a job. And then it just kind of, things fell into place where I ended up, working for my dad, and I'm an entrepreneur now, and I absolutely love it. It couldn't have been anything better. I'm so glad that I worked with my dad, and I'm gonna, continue to grow here.
That's awesome. So on a regular day, do you work a 9-to-5 job? Do you work an 8 to 9 job? Like, what does a day in the life of Melissa Beach consist of right now?
Yeah, well, I wake up every day around 6, 7 o'clock. I get started at 7. And then it just depends what's going on. I mean, things change all the time in this business, and you get clients that are calling you, and your day is filled with just meeting new people, going to events, meetings. So I could be done 6 o'clock, sometimes 6:30. I mean, just last week I was working till 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. It depends, how much effort you want to put in, and if you have a deadline, you must get that done. So if you have to work really late, then you're going to do that. I work on the weekends too. Obviously some weekends I have off. It depends,
Right.
what needs to get done.
And how did you get exposed to the Harvest? How did you find out about the group?
Yeah, so my dad is a part of the Legacy group.
Okay.
And I was going to events with him when I was still at Rowan and I was a senior. And after I graduated and I started working for him, he's like, I met this guy named Devin, and he keeps telling me about this Harvest thing that he's doing, this Harvest group, and he's like, I really think you should get involved in it. So that's how I started. I ended up being thrown into that in December, and here we are now, and I've met so many good people already. I love it. It really has motivated me.
It's a great group.
It really is. I know.
Yeah. I feel like almost like a used car salesman all the time because I keep talking about it all, but I'm like, I don't know what to say. It's a great group. It's really awesome people, and the one thing that I love about it is the people in there are really genuine. You know what I mean? Like, there's no matter what, if you get a group of 100 people, there's going to be a couple jerks probably.
Oh yeah.
But for the most part,
yeah,
like a lot of people have really reached out. A lot of people have really put a lot of effort into me. You know what I mean? And that's like different from most groups that I've ever been in my life. Most people are like, well, I'll help you, but only if I get this, because I have to know what's in it for me. It's never like, oh, what do you need? I'll do this for you. How
did you end up getting into it?
I got into the Harvest from Tyler Argent. So Tyler is one of the guys that we use for homeowners insurance. And I got to a point last year where I was like, look, I want to do something a little more for success coaching, for stuff. I'm at a decent level, but I want to go to the next level. I talked to a couple people that I use as mentors, and they were like, you need to get a coach. I put a post on Facebook, and Tyler responded. He's like, I'm a part of this group. You really need to join it. And I called Devin and talked to him, and I was like, all right, I'm in, whatever. But it's been really good. Even if it wasn't for the coaching end of it, if it was just the people, like I've made some great relationships there that are worth whatever you pay, plus the speakers that you hear.
Yeah.
Like, you know, any one of them I would never have access to, and we get 2 a month. So
It's funny you say that, because literally today I was brainstorming. I'm like, how can I get a hold of, or who can I talk to, or what networking events can I go to bring more people in to talk for, you know, for the harvest. And I want to better myself and everyone else that's in there. So, you know, I'm constantly brainstorming too, like how can I help our whole group here, and, you know, what things do I have to do that will, you know, push me outside my comfort zone, or do things that will, you know, make me even better and make everyone else around me that's pushing me to be better good too.
yeah, that's awesome. It's really, for me anyway, when I was your age, I was not the person that was looking to go outside his comfort zone. You know, like, I knew what my wheelhouse was. I did a lot of really difficult things. I owned a business when I was 18 years old. I did a lot of really tough things, but I wasn't thinking, I'm gonna do this because this is tough and I wanna be better. I was just like, this is what happened, I need to do this to get to the other side of it. And it's an interesting perspective to hear.
I know.
So,
I feel like you have to get everything out that you don't want to do in life, or that, you know, might be mentally holding you back, and everyone has something. Get it out now. Why are you going to wait? Because that thing is really what's holding you back with everything in life. It could be your professional life or your personal life. Just get that out of the way now, get it over with, so that you can truly grow and be successful. And that is what I've been doing every single day, and I still challenge myself all the time.
That's awesome. So what is, so far you've been on the job 9 months?
5.
5 months?
5 to
Okay.
6, yeah.
Okay. What was your favorite day so far? Like, this happened and that made it my favorite day ever of your career.
Honestly, my favorite day or my favorite day with my dad?
Your favorite day in business so far?
Maybe the first time that I went to the in-person harvest that we did.
Okay.
What was this? Might have been March, the first time that I
At
had
the
met you.
Burlington Country
That
Club?
one,
Okay.
yeah. Because that was the first time that I went to any networking event myself.
By yourself?
By myself. No one was there with me, and I was representing Precision, and I was, you know, leading up to it. I definitely thought about how am I going to go about this, and how am I going to present myself, and who do I want to talk to, and just my whole game plan. And going in there and actually executing that, I felt so good. After that night, I was like, oh my God, like,
I can do this.
I could do all of this. Like, this is nothing.
How many times on the way to the country club did you think, this is crazy, I shouldn't do this, I should quit?
I didn't think it was crazy. I was just like, you're driving there and you're just going to keep going. That was it. That's all I kept telling myself, just keep going, and once you get there, it'll be great. And it was. I had a great night.
Yeah, it was a
Everything
great
was
time.
good.
Okay, so if someone's watching this and they're thinking, hey, I have a commercial building that I might want to lease or that I might want to rent, how would they get in touch with you, and what are some of the steps they would take to get in touch with your company?
Yeah, so they could go right on our website at precisionbb.com, and they can get in touch with us there. We're also on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we're on pretty much everything, and they can, you know, message us there as well. They can also email us at info@precisioncre.com as well.
Awesome. All right, now your personal question.
Yeah.
I'm going music.
Okay.
Any artist, alive or dead, comes to your house and performs 2 songs, who would the artist be, or band, and what would the 2 songs be?
It would be definitely Frank Sinatra. For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Of course, it has to be an answer like Frank Sinatra. Like, that would have been like 93rd on the list of guesses that I would have on there. Frank Sinatra.
I love him. I absolutely
Top 5
love
for me, but definitely not what I was expecting from you.
I love Frank Sinatra.
Okay. What are your 2 songs?
You know what? As much as I love him, I don't know. Isn't one New York, New York?
Sure.
I know that. Just the most general ones that he's known for. Give me another. I don't know. I'm pretty bad with like not knowing the names, but I'm always listening to him every day.
New York, New York is good enough.
Okay.
New York, New York is good. Summer Wind is also really good. All or Nothing. There's a bunch of them.
Oh, so yes, Summer Winds.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I hope you had a great time, and we'll be back with the next guest on Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood. Welcome back to the neighborhood. Our next guest is Kelly Ivanovic from the Home Smart office over in Philly. Kelly, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Awesome to have you here. So, give us a little background. How did Kelly get into the real estate game?
Okay, so I got into real estate 7 years ago technically, but I've been in real estate I think since I was like 7 years old because my dad owned investment properties. He would get a lot of free labor out of me by having me fix up houses for him, paint. There would be like roaches crawling around. I'd be in there cleaning.
You were the designated roach
yes,
killer?
I was literally like, he was getting like very cheap labor from me. And I'm talking as a little kid, I was in real estate. So I guess it was like in my blood to always be in real estate.
Nice, nice. And you're at Home Smart now? How long have you been there?
I've been at HomeSmart for 3 years. Before that, I was with Building an Empire, which was like an investment type company. And then prior to that, Keller Williams.
Nice.
So training from Keller and then just kind of better commission rate at HomeSmart.
Move up to get paid what you want to get paid,
yes.
right? And you do a lot of different stuff. I see your posts on Facebook and other social media. You're a grinder, you know what I mean? Like you're rent to own, you're everything. You're not like, oh, if they don't have a great credit score, I don't want to talk to them. Yeah. You kind of, you're looking to get everybody.
Yes, I'll work with anybody at least, like try to get them set up to build their credit, because even with the rent to own program, you could potentially help them once they're ready to actually buy.
Sure.
They could purchase it at that time with the rent to own. As long as their like income requirements are met and work history, they can purchase even with bad credit.
Nice. And do you have like a favorite client? Like, do you favor like single moms or you know anything like
actually,
that?
Actually, I do. So I do. I try to help people that are not really educated as far as buying a property. I like to kind of tell them like, look, you're ready to buy. You stop wasting money running a house. You know what I mean? You're just basically throwing away money. I like helping single moms. I like helping anybody really that just to kind of help them to be in a situation where they can own a home rather than renting and build equity, you know, and possibly invest in the future, you know?
Sure. And do you have a decent clientele of the investment side of things? Like, do you have people that are looking to buy and sell or buy and hold and that kind of thing? So
I have a lot of investors that I work with, and I do a lot of off-market deals. I have an off-market deal right now that I'm trying to get rid of.
You're trying to sell?
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to sell our next guest the off-market deal.
I was. I tried to sell it.
Talk about the always working thing. She was like, hey, how you doing? You're over in Philly? I got an off-market deal. Here's the zip code.
Yeah, I try to like, especially like my clients that I've like built relationships with, I try to send them whatever deals I get first and then you know, to whomever after.
Awesome. So, in the time that you've been doing this, do you have like a favorite client? Like when you think of that one person or that one family, like, man, that makes my heart swell a little bit.
I have a lot of clients that I really love. Most of my clients become like my family. Like I still am in contact with them, and it's just like they're forever my family after working with them. I get too close. I'm like involved in their family. I'm going to like parties with them because they all become my family after working with them. You know.
Nice. All right, so let's go like 2 years in the future. 2024, June of 2024. Where do you see yourself? What would you like to have accomplished by then?
I want to sell 100 properties. That's like my goal.
Between now and then?
50 a year? No, 200. I would like to sell 100
a year? Okay,
yes.
all right.
That's my goal. I mean, you got to reach high, you know, because even if you don't make it, you're still almost there,
That's right. 100 properties a year is a lot.
Yeah.
prior to this, what's the most that you've sold in a year? About?
I think about 40, 45 properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 45.
That's a good goal. Hey, look, double your. It's
Yeah.
not like you've sold 7 and you're trying to do 100.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
no. I've sold a good amount. A lot
Yeah.
of it. I would say at least like 20 off-market deals I
Mhm.
usually sell, and then 30 retail type deals I usually sell a year.
Now you do Facebook.
Yes.
You do TikTok.
Yes.
You do Instagram.
Yes.
What else do you do for your social media?
I go on Twitter, but I don't really know how to work Twitter
Okay.
too well. I try.
Just throw stuff out there and see
Yeah,
how it
I'll
goes.
just make a post. I don't really understand Twitter too much, but I think that's let me think. Pinterest, I like to take stuff from Pinterest,
Okay.
but I don't really do too much on there. So yeah, I think
But the
that's-
TikTok, I see you got the videos.
Yeah, yeah, I
You
like
do
to-
all the. Do you do that yourself, or do you have somebody else do
Oh
like
no,
your
I just do
backgrounds
it.
and
I
everything?
just do it myself
You
real
just
quick.
you throw the headings
Yes,
and everything.
yep.
How tough is, because I'm not a TikTok person, how long does it take you between making the video, putting the music on there, doing the things?
I'm getting quick actually. The
Okay.
last 2 were like literally like 15 minutes of my
Okay.
life. The first one was probably about 2 hours because I did not know how to do the work. I'm like asking my kids the whole time, like, can you help me? How do I do this? They're like, no, you can't put the words before you like shorten the video. They just taught me how to do
Yeah.
everything. So my kids were very helpful.
Now
getting
you're
started.
good.
Now I'm good. Now I
You don't
understand
need the
it.
kids. You're like, go in the other room. Stop bothering me while I'm doing
Yeah,
this.
I do it right with I have kids running around and just do the video. And my daughter's like, what do you do? Are you doing a TikTok? I'm like, yes, I am.
Yeah, working.
Hello, I'm going
Always
to be the
working.
TikTok queen.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta be something. TikTok
Yes,
is not the worst
yes.
thing, you know? Cool. All right, so let me give you your personal question. Tomorrow morning you wake up, you find out that you won $2 million. What's the first thing you're spending your money on?
Probably, let me think. Shore house for everybody. A big shore house so that I can invite millions of people. Because I like having parties.
You got a bunch
so,
of people, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a big family, and I would just like a house big enough down the shore that everybody could
You have
go to.
what's your favorite shore? What's your favorite
Ah.
spot?
So, really, I would say North Wildwood is where I
Okay.
usually go to.
Yeah,
That's like,
I'm childhood North Wildwood every year.
yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
I don't like the fact that my kids, it's nonstop, me giving them tons of money, thousands of dollars, but I love
Right.
North Wildwood.
Yeah, that's anywhere, man. You go to Ocean City. The
Yeah,
only one, if you
yeah.
go to LBI, there's no boardwalk, so there's no. I mean, there's a boardwalk, but there's no rides or
Yeah,
anything like
yeah.
that. But or Sea Isle or any of those other ones, you got a beach, you got water, but there's no rides. If you go
Yeah.
anywhere with rides, it's just
Yeah,
you might as well
nonstop.
be an ATM.
Yeah, yep, that's what I am for my kids.
Keep
Mom,
it going.
can I see your card? I'm like,
I went
What?
to Atlantic City with the kids like 3 weeks ago, and they have rides. We went out there. It was like $100 for the tickets, and then it's like 6 tickets for the ride. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, that's $6 per kid to go on a
that's
ride.
how much it is now. Even in Wildwood,
Jeez.
same thing. It was $10. If my daughter wanted to go on one ride when we went down there for the day, and it was literally $10 for that one ride. I'm like,
Nuts,
it's crazy.
crazy.
We gotta make more money, right?
We gotta make more money. Thank you very much for coming to the neighborhood. We'll be right back with the next guest. Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is Andrew Bachman from Opus Elite Real Estate over in the Philadelphia area. Andrew, welcome to the neighborhood.
Hey, Chris, thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Or James, I'm sorry.
James, Chris, I've been called way worse. We're talking about Drager. We've been making fun of Drager the whole time, so it's all good. You know?
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. He deserves it. So tell everybody a little bit about your past. You're relatively new to the business, how you got in the business, and how you like it so far.
Absolutely. So, I've been in real estate for a little over a year now. I started at a brokerage outside of Philadelphia, or in Philadelphia, and now I'm with one a little outside of Philadelphia, in Bucks County, Newtown. I got into it, I was talking to my friend who's a realtor, and she was crushing it. And
Yeah.
I was at a job, it was a good job, but I was in a position where I'd only make so much money every year.
Right.
And I wanted to definitely, I've always had a vision to go beyond that. I didn't want to be capped. I didn't want to feel handcuffed to a certain salary. So I took the real estate test, passed, and just surrounded myself with people in the industry that knew what they were doing, and so far it's going good.
Nice. Now, your job previous to this, was it anything like real estate, or was it
I don't think there's any job like real estate.
No.
The job previous to this, I've had various sales jobs, but the one previous to this, I was actually answering 911 phone calls.
Right, you were dispatcher.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. It wasn't positive. Yeah. So I mean, listen, that's kind of real estate. You're answering 911 phone calls all day long. You know what I mean? CEO can't come in. Blah blah blah. Drop everything and do it.
Yeah.
So it's your first year. How do you think you're doing? Do you like it? Is it you? Have you found your career, or is this just stepping stone to the next thing kind of thing?
So if you name a job, I've probably done it.
Mhm.
But I think finally this is one where I'm staying.
Okay.
I'm happy here. It's going in the right direction. I'm not as busy as I want to be yet, but I don't think I'll ever be in a position where I can say I'm as busy as I want to be. I always want to go to that next step. I always want to be busier. But
Yep.
it's definitely, it clicks. Like I get it. So I'm happy here.
Nice. And you're a South Jersey guy, right?
Yes.
But you do a lot of business over in Philly. How does it work out? How did you take that as your target market? And what was your plan doing that?
It kind of just worked out that way. I got linked up with an investor in like the early stages of my career, and I started learning the investor market really quick. I kind
Sure.
of just dove into it, and I enjoyed it, and that's pretty much what I've been dealing with ever since.
And you tend to target more of investors as opposed to like first time buyers. That tends to be your...
In the Philadelphia market, like the South Philadelphia market, they're trying to build that area up, so I've been definitely targeting that area for investors. But I can deal with anybody.
Sure.
First-time home buyers, second-time home buyers, vacation homes, rental properties.
Big old luxury mansions. If
Yeah,
you
let's
want to,
do it.
Mainline,
Yeah.
Villanova, wherever you're going. You know what I mean? Nice. And have you had a favorite client so far? Have you had somebody where it's like close to your heart, or has it been more business than?
Honestly, like every client's different, and
Right.
I don't want to say I favored a client over another one, but there has definitely been situations where, you know, I dealt with a single mom one time, and finding her a home was not the easiest task, and
Sure.
it was the only source of income. So finding her that home definitely, it felt nice to be able
Yeah.
to help her with that.
At the closing table,
Yeah.
was it one of those moments? I've had a couple of them where they're overwhelmed, they weren't
Yeah.
sure it was gonna happen, and they're like, "Thank you so much, you're amazing." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so outside of the real estate industry, what do you do with your spare time? What do you do to have some fun and let some steam off?
I love to travel.
Yeah?
I love seeing new cities. I just got back from Nashville a little bit ago. I've
Okay.
never been there before.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to Key West July 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, I love traveling. I love seeing new places.
What's the favorite place that you've been in the U.S.?
Honestly, I've been various different cities in Florida. I've been to Arizona. I've been to a few other cities, but Nashville by far was my favorite
Really?
city. Yeah.
That's
if you haven't
crazy.
been there, you gotta go to Nashville.
My daughter lives in Chattanooga, but I've been there, a bunch of times. I've never been to Nashville.
Dude, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You have.
It's a nice
You
spot.
can't describe it. It's just like such a nice environment. Everyone's happy. There's live music. You've been out where you like South Jersey, Philadelphia area. Everyone's like always on their toes, looking to fight for some reason. That's not Nashville.
No.
Everyone's so happy, in a great mood. Everyone, this guy at the bar just bought me a shot for no reason at all.
That's crazy. I had not the opposite thing, but like I was in Chattanooga, and it was like everybody was so slow.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, no one's rushed. Like everyone's
that was not me.
Yeah,
I
we're so
got
used
a
to
flat
like
tire, and I was like, I got a flat. I'm over on the side, and they're like, yeah, we'll be there between 4 and 7. I'm like, PM?
It's-
Like, yeah. I'm like,
it's
it's
8
10
in the
o'clock in the
morning,
morning.
yeah.
What are you talking about? Well, and he gave me this whole story. Well, Cletus has to go and pick up the doll. I'm like, I need this done now. But it
I
just
gotta watch
seems,
my show. Come on at 11.
yeah. Everybody was just like, well, we'll get to it when we get to it. I was like, I can never live here. There's no way.
Yeah.
I go there for a little bit, but I couldn't.
Yeah, this area, you're just so used to the hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
Every day, just go, go, go,
Down,
go.
yeah, for sure. When you went to Arizona, did you go to Grand Canyon?
I did.
Okay. That's kind of nice.
You've seen him?
Yeah, I mean, it was
beautiful.
a long time ago, but I went there when I was a kid. We did the whole all out west, Jackson Hole, Crater Lake, Grand Canyon, all that stuff. I want to get back there as an
Yeah.
adult.
My great grandma used to have a house in Lake Havasu City.
Okay.
It's about 3 hours from the Grand Canyon. And so we would be there maybe once a year as a kid, maybe twice. And
That's nice.
every time we would go up to Grand Canyon, it's beautiful.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so now here's your final personal question.
Okay.
Sports. you could go to any sporting event that ever happened in history
Back
to
in time.
rewatch it anywhere you want, yup. And you can bring one person with you. What event do you want to go see and who do you want to bring?
I would 100% go back to the NFC East Championship game, the Eagles versus, who did we play in 2017? When did we win the Super Bowl? 17 or
Oh,
18?
yeah, the Vikings.
The Vikings.
Yeah.
I went to that game and no one was in their trip. That environment was so
That
electric.
was a nuts game.
It was
yeah.
insane. I would go back to that game in a heartbeat. Who would I bring? Not Chris.
Not Chris Stryker, nope.
That's a good question. I don't know who I
No
would bring.
Chris Stryker.
I don't know. Maybe like Giselle Boudica. Tom Brady's cool with that.
Okay, all right. We got Giselle.
Nah, I don't know who I would bring. That's a good question. Probably like one of my brothers or
It's tough.
one of
man.
my, yeah.
It's tough.
It's so many people. I'd probably want to go to a lot. I don't know.
Probably
That's a good
offered off to the
question.
highest bidder. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, that's
You
an
got
option.
those guys, there you
Yeah.
go. Cool. Awesome, man. Andrew, thanks for
Thanks for
coming in.
having me, man. Appreciate
Great
it.
to have you. We'll be back to the next guest on Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood. Welcome back to the neighborhood, everybody. Our next guest is Suzanne Simons from EXP. Suzanne, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Gotta shake my hand.
Oh, okay.
So, how long have you been in the real estate industry? You look like it's been like 3 weeks. You look like you're about 22. You've been doing this for 3 or 4
Yeah,
weeks.
3 weeks. No,
Okay.
like almost 7 years.
Almost 7 years.
Mhm.
How did you stumble into the real estate industry? Did you wake up one morning and go, I want to be a realtor? Or was it like
No,
totally by mistake?
no, neither. So I was in the restaurant industry all my life. And then I went to school for paralegal, and then I became a paralegal, and then I realized I hate sitting behind a desk 9 to 5 and working for somebody else. And I was sick and tired of waiting on drunk people all day. So I said, what can I do? And then I had a friend in real estate who loved it, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. And when I bought my first house, the agent on that house, she, when we were like looking for houses, I met with her in her office, and she pulls, because you know back then you had to like print out lists and whatnot, and you know just email them over to everybody. And so she prints out this list of all these homes, and I'm like, nope, I already saw that one. Nope, this is that. No, that's that. And she's like, oh, she's like, maybe you should do this. And so it kind of always stuck in my head,
Nice.
and then I did.
I have a super soft spot in my heart for anyone who worked in the restaurant industry because that's where I grew up. And one of our guests on today can attest. I believe that that's where the true good people in the world come from. Like when someone says, I worked in the restaurant industry, most times I'm like, all right, they're a good person because they know.
Yeah.
Because you get kind of shit on. You get kind of, you got to deal with the drunk people. You got to work. And you get like, I always believe the salt of the earth people are what? People that come out of the restaurant industry. So it's awesome to hear that. What kind of gigs did you do in the restaurant business?
Well, I started as a waitress,
Okay.
and then worked my way up to bartender for
Okay.
a long time.
All right. I started off dishwasher. I did dishwasher, prep chef, waiter, delivery driver, owned a couple restaurants. But it's just like, I don't know, something about the restaurant industry, like,
It like
makes you-
teaches you life skills.
Yeah, I think all the time. I kind of crack on my wife all the time because just from being in the restaurant industry, I think sequentially all the time. Like I was on the grill and I got 13 cheesesteaks. I got to know which ones I got to go here. This one goes here. Got to come here. When's the cheese melt? When's going? Like everything I do works sequentially, and I was taught that by the restaurant business because if not, you're going to take 3 times as long to do everything. If you don't do the hardest thing first and work it in, it's going to take the longest.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You definitely learn how to multitask and how to handle anything thrown your way.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you are working at EXP right now.
Mm-hmm.
What company did you come from before XP? Because that's always the
Remax Connection.
journey. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of been the trend. You know, Remax is a newer one. You know, if you see like the Century 21s or all that, they're kind of the old school model. Remax is kind of middle school model, and EXP is kind of modern.
Yeah.
What do you like the most about the platform that EXP has for their agents?
They offer a lot of technology, low fees. There's live training classes, so I can literally just log in and be like, oh, okay, I want to go to this class, and they send you the schedule every week. So there's always something going on. They offer stock.
Yeah.
They offer health
Cool.
insurance. They offer the things that a lot of agencies don't offer.
Sure.
Um,
Have you done any of like the virtual trainings? Like one Andrew Weintraub was on there, and he was saying like they have almost like the Oculus classes where you can go into a classroom.
no, you do. You like take your. I thought it was really like nerdy at first, and I was like, this is weird. But then I did one day. I like made my little avatar, and I was like, okay. And I like stumbled into a class, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool because it's almost like a Zoom,
Right.
but they have this like auditorium, so you're
Virtual
actually sitting
classroom.
in like a virtual classroom.
Yeah.
So, and when I was in college, I took a lot of online classes, so I'm like, it's kind of similar.
Right.
So,
Right. Okay. Do you tend to gravitate towards one particular type of client? Are you a first-time home buyer, a single mom, a rental property investor kind of person? Who do you go towards normally?
I find a lot of first-time home buyers because I'm very familiar with the grant program. So then, you know, once they hear about it, they tell their friends and
Sure.
whatnot, and it's fine. I know how it works, and I think that kind of helps because if you don't know how it works, it's very easy to miss things. So
Sure.
that's kind of become, I guess, my thing.
Okay, nice. What about social media? What type of platforms are you on, and how do you use social media to get business or get exposure for yourself?
So I don't use it as much as I should, but I have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok.
Are you a TikToker, or you just have TikTok?
I have it, and I have made a couple videos.
You dipped your toe in the TikTok water?
I did.
Okay.
I'm still learning. I asked my niece, because she's young, how to do it.
That
And
is the same answer that every person that says I'm learning TikTok, the last girl, Kelly, that was in here said she had to go talk to her young kids
Yeah.
to tell them how to do stuff.
I mean, mine might be able to tell me, but they're only 2 and 3.
Right.
So, like,
The 3-year-old maybe, I'm not gonna.
she might have a better idea than the 2-year-old.
Right.
But my niece is 22, so she can help me.
She's over the
She
hill on the
knows,
TikTok.
she knows how to, like, do all the cool things and
Do you
whatnot.
do
so.
TikTok like special effects? Do you have your words popping out?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the stuff I don't know how to do.
Yeah.
So that's where I need
I
my
don't
cool
know, dude.
22-year-old niece to come in and be like, okay, this is what you do.
I hired my 16-year-old daughter to
Yeah.
run it. She's not doing a great job yet, but
Yeah.
the plans are there for
Yeah.
her to execute the TikTok channel.
Okay, cool.
What do you find your most effective social media platform is? Facebook? Is it the old standby?
Yeah, Facebook. Good old
Okay.
Facebook.
Do you
A little
do
bit of Instagram.
advertisements, or are you just like posting them? You're not doing like Facebook ads or anything
I
like that?
have.
Okay.
I've done Facebook ads, Google ads. I've just posted stuff on Instagram.
Sure.
And I've gotten responses from that. So
Are you doing reels? Are you doing the Instagram videos?
no, this is enough video for me.
Yeah.
I'm just getting my toes wet with the whole video thing.
Mhm.
So baby steps.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
I don't know what the difference between a reel and everything else is.
A reel
Like
is
short video.
Well, reels are kind of like Instagram's version of TikTok. So you can post reels to TikTok, and you can post TikTok to reels, but it's like their proprietary video software.
Can't I just make one?
Yeah, you can make one and put it on a
Put it
couple
on all
different
of
things. Yeah, they advertise. There's like, oh, we have this thing where you can put one post on it. It goes to all your social media. I haven't really found one that's super effective. You know, kind of like whatever I put on my
Your
Facebook
16-year-old,
goes
what is it,
to
your daughter? That's who
Instagram.
it is. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
That's like I got too. It's like
That's
because
how
I
you
would
get that done.
love to just post once, and
Right.
but the problem is when you do those things, you can't. They haven't made anything that has you respond and it responds back on that platform. You know, it's like I can post to 17 different things, but if someone else replies to my post on Facebook, I still got to go to Facebook and reply. I can't
Sure.
go back from there or go through it. So that's that's the struggle that I get. I don't really care. I go on Facebook. People make fun of me. They've been making fun of me for 15 years for being on Facebook. But most of the people that 15 years ago were like, "What are you doing on Facebook?" now are like, "Yo, can you show me how I can do the Facebook stuff to get more business?" So it's
Right.
it's a necessary evil. It's definitely age related. So like my 16-year-old daughter will not get a Facebook. She's TikTok and Snapchat.
Is Facebook not cool anymore?
Facebook, I don't know if Facebook was ever cool. Facebook is cool for my age group because it's like somewhat technology. But the younger group will make fun of you if you have Facebook, for sure. They're Snapchat.
I have Snapchat.
Yeah.
I've had Snapchat for a long time. I guess I'm cool.
Yeah, you are. I'm not a Snapchat kind of guy. I never really, I don't know. Like if I want to send a picture, I'll just take a picture and send it to them in a text message.
No, but
you know?
Snapchat, you can do the cool little filter. Like I know Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat does have the cool filters in the backgrounds, and when you have it where like the face turns into the lizard, or
Right.
now that kind of stuff is kind of cool.
That's fun. It's cute.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the younger thing. You know?
Oh, well, then I guess we'll pretend I'm young.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go fast forward into 2024. 2 years from now,
Okay.
where is Suzanne Simons, and where do you want to be in your career and anything else?
Well, I just started a team, so
Okay.
I'm hoping to have expanded my team by 2024. More listings.
Okay.
I'd like to transition more into a listing agent. I mean, I have a fair amount of listings, but I'd rather become more of the listing agent and then let my team become the
Your
buyers.
team get the buyers.
Yes.
Right.
And double my business.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
So then I
pretty-
can, go on a vacation
Nice.
and enjoy it.
I
Yeah.
like that. Okay. Now your personal question is:
Oh boy.
tomorrow morning you wake up and you find out that you won $2 million.
Okay.
What's the first thing you buy, and what do you spend it on? Where you going with it?
Okay. I'll pay off all my bills.
You have to tell your husband that you won the money too. It can't be like a
Oh.
secret that you have $2 million. It can't be Suzanne's secret stash. It's got to be like.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna get any of
Right.
it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I would pay off all my bills, and then I would invest the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm gonna splurge, I'm gonna get myself an Audi SQ8,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna get myself some Louis Vuitton luggage.
Louis Vuitton luggage.
Yes.
And an Audi. I'm not a car guy, so I don't really know what an Audi SQ8
It's
is.
very fast.
But I'm sure it's a fast car for
yeah,
sure.
and it's still an SUV. It's
Okay.
a good looking car. I got
So
kids
you're
and
like
dogs. I need
speed
space.
racer soccer mom? Is that the?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not a soccer mom. I'm not
You're
getting
never
a
gonna be a
minivan.
soccer mom.
A
You're not gonna
minivan.
be
That's
a-
why I'm gonna stick with the
All right.
the SUV that's really fast.
Yes, my wife is the same way. I tried to talk her into getting we have 6 kids between us. I tried to talk her into getting a minivan for
You need
years.
like a Suburban.
She's like, nope, not doing it. We have a 8-passenger vehicle now, but she would not. She's like, I don't care if you get it for free, and it's the most pimpinest ride minivan. I am not getting a minivan. I don't care why.
I hear they're nice,
Yeah,
and I hear they're
Not for you?
No,
no,
no, you could just get a third row. I have a third row right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's great.
yeah. You can't have that soccer mom mystique going on
Mhm.
with the minivan.
It's just not my thing. No, I don't care if they play soccer. I'm just not doing it.
Right. Can't be soccer mom. They can play soccer, but no more.
Right. Right.
Awesome,
I'll bring the
Sam.
oranges. That's about it. I can stick them in my front seat of whatever car I have.
Thank you so much for stopping by the neighbors, Suzanne.
Thank you.
We have one more guest coming next on Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Couple of princesses here hanging out in the neighborhood with our tiaras. Our next guest is Val Gallagher. Val, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you very much.
Keller
Thanks
Williams.
for having me, Jim.
Welcome to the show. Talk a little bit about your beginnings in the real estate industry, because I love hearing the stories. A lot of the women that are in real estate have the awesomest beginnings and startups. It's not like someone's like, oh man, since 7th grade I've wanted to be a real estate agent, you know?
Yeah.
So how'd you get locked up into this crazy world?
I don't know, but I must have been smoking some funny stuff when they when I had that epiphany that this would be a good thing. You know, it's so funny because I remember getting a recruiting call. I was probably in my mid-20s. I've been in sales a very long time, but I was probably in my mid-20s, and I got a recruiting call from, I don't remember if it was Century 21 or Weicker. The only reason why I say it was either Century 21 or Weicker is because whatever company it was, yellow gold was in their
Right.
their logo. But, you know, I was getting paid really well, you know,
Sure.
by a teeny tiny company called Xerox at the time. I'm
Yeah,
sure nobody's
small.
ever heard
No.
of Xerox. And so when I said, I was like, well, what do I get paid? They're like, well, you're 100% commission. I went, no thanks, I'm good. So, you know, you're right. I mean, I didn't raise my hand saying I want to be a real estate agent when I grew up. So fast forward many years. I was thinking about getting into it because I had owned a home care business. I sold it, and then I started working for other people, and I don't make a good employee. Like that's my running joke. I am
Yeah.
not employable.
I'm the same way. I don't take orders well.
And the HR department can never be anywhere within 1,000 feet of me.
Guilty.
So anyway, I put a post out on Facebook and was like, hey, who of my friends are real estate agents who are netting six figures a year? And so I had a bunch of people comment, but David Spencer, who was at Keller Williams in Washington Township, and is now over at Weichert, in Washington Township or Turnersville, David reached out to me, and he was so kind. He was like, hey, why don't we get on the phone and have a conversation? And I can remember sitting at my kitchen table, eating my salad and talking on the phone with David to hear like his journey, his story, and about real estate. And I had some tough years before. I had a divorce, I had a bankruptcy, I had a short sale, and I wasn't really feeling the mojo. Like I just didn't have my confidence. David believed in me at a time that I didn't believe in myself. That's how he was the one, pretty much single-handedly, who was like, you will kill it, you've got to do this.
Nice. And did you go and work with Dave
No.
first? Or?
No. As a matter of fact, he left. I joined Keller Williams in Morristown.
Okay.
I joined Keller Williams in Marlton in late 2018 when I got my license.
Gotcha.
But then moved over to Keller Williams in Morristown because I live in Morristown, and initially started out on Mike Carr's team.
Okay.
And then, Mike knew I probably wasn't going to last that long being on somebody's team. I was working a full-time job.
Right.
And, I had asked my husband, October 1st, I essentially got my license in 2018. I want to say late October, early November, I said to him, I really want to quit this job. I don't really like what I'm doing. I think I can kill it in real estate.
Go full force.
And he says, you can't. We need your salary, because I was making really good money, working for somebody doing sales. And I was like, ugh. Did not like the job at all. Right. December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas, he comes home from work. He's like, oh, how was your day? I said, great, how was yours? He said, oh, it was good. He said, anything new? I said, I quit my job. He goes, what? Like it just did, what is it, The Exorcist, completely goes wrong. He's like, you did what? I said, I quit my job. He said, I told you can't quit your job. I said, do you trust me? He's like, yeah, but. I said, no, yeah, but. Do you trust me? Yes. Great. So I left working with my car, went over to Keller Williams in Morristown, started working there, and David was at Keller Williams, and then he left and went to Weichert. And oddly enough, a year later, I ended up at Weichert. Nice. But not because of him. I mean, I talked to him. We're friends, but that's kind of how I ended up there. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you tend to gravitate towards a certain client? Are you like majoritively first-time home buyers, or majoritively investors, or majoritively second homes, anything like that?
Yeah. So I've always thankfully, I don't know how it's happened. It just kind of has happened, but. I've always been primarily a listing agent, even right from the very beginning. Actually, my first two transactions were listings, that I got. So my specialty, my niche, is working with the 55, 65 and older clientele. Gotcha. So I've got my SRES, which is your Seniors Real Estate Specialist designation. And so as far as sellers are concerned, that's really my niche. Not too many of them are buying homes per se. Right. Some of them, but not a lot of them. And then when I look at who are the home buyers that I work with, most of them are first-time home buyers. And my nickname's the Shark. My clients have, actually one client, Katie, nicknamed me that, a couple years ago. Because I'll fight for them. I go to bat for them, especially in a market that we've had for the last couple of years where it's so one-sided on the sellers, and it's very hard to get FHA, Home Seeker Grant Program buyers, offers accept. VA, I love VA buyers. I'm under contract with a VA buyer on one of my listings right now. Love them.
It is one of the bigger, almost criminal things that have happened in the industry, where you get somebody who serves and does all this stuff, and you won't entertain their offer because they're not putting it. It's just crazy. I argue all the time. I can't tell you how many listing agents I've called, because the realtors that I deal with, I have them copy me on the offer so I can be the first one to get on the phone. And I'm calling on the phone, I'm like, listen, this guy's great. He's an exceptional credit score. I can't tell you the exact number, but it's over this, and we're good. He makes a ton of money. There's not gonna be any problems. Already pre-approved, already been underwritten. And they're like, yeah, we just can't take a VA loan.
Because they don't understand it. Now, don't get me wrong, because I have a lot of older folks'
Sure.
homes, and some of them are hoarder paradises.
Right.
You know, you walk in, you're like, wait a minute, I better go put booties over my shoes and put a mask on and gloves and a big suit, hazmat suit. So some of them legitimately aren't appropriate for VA or FHA. However, I tell my sellers all the time, nobody is going to be as rock solid of a buyer as somebody who is a pre-approved with a VA loan.
Yeah.
Because they're not losing their funding. In 99.9% of the cases,
Right.
they're not losing their funding.
Sure.
And most of the appraisers, I had one time invoke Tidewater,
Right.
and I fought it because I know my numbers. And
Yeah.
guess what? We got it.
Sure.
No problem.
Sure.
And I wasn't even the listing agent. I was the buyer's
Right.
agent, and I fought it.
Yeah, as long
For
as
my
you're not
buyers.
just pulling numbers out of the air. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you know there's comps out there that validate the sales price of it, Tidewater shouldn't be anything you can't overcome. You know what
No.
I mean?
So it's a huge lack of awareness and skill set on the listing agent's part that they're discriminating against these buyers. And these
Yeah.
men and women, we're allowed to walk around and have the freedoms we have.
Sure.
Thanks in part to those men and women.
Yeah, I any VA buyer that I can get, I love them. We make a donation in their name because we want to give back to them a little bit. And I've had a couple of them that were really great people, and we had a real horrible time finding them a property because they were on their 17th or 18th bid because we couldn't find something. Even if the one guy was like, look, I'll put $20,000 in escrow and I'll just get it back at closing. I don't care. I just want this property. Finally, he found somebody to listen to go through it. But it's been tough. If it ain't conventional or cash, it's hard to push through.
I got a great property coming in Cherry Hill. I welcome any VA buyers.
Nice.
It's in Woodcrest. It's going to hit the market next week. So
Nice. So everybody knows out there, if you're watching,
if you got a VA buyer,
Val will take VA or FHA if it's a good one.
That's right. That's
Nice.
right. It's all doing the lender too. The lender has the agent, the co-op agent, and the lender have a lot to do.
Sure.
We just went under contract with an FHA buyer for one of my other listings.
Right.
So
I mean, listen, you get an FHA pre-qual from Bank of Podunk in Idaho.
Bank of America.
Yeah. I don't want to get sued, but you everybody knows who's got real pre-quals and who's got wood. You know what I mean? They didn't look at the W-2s. They didn't look. If we're sending out a pre-qual, I have the tax returns, we have the W-2s, we have the pay stubs, and we have the bank statements. I'm not sending out a pre-qual. We're not wasting our time or your time without it. And it's just been a troubling thing in our industry. My ex-wife is a realtor. A lot of my family is realtors. I have close friends that are realtors, and they call me up and they're like, Jim, have you ever heard of this bank? I'm like, no, I don't even know what that is. Did you research them? Like, yeah, they're from somewhere in Tennessee, and they got a 3-star rating on the Better Business Bureau. I'm like, well,
Nope.
it's not what the paper is written on. You know what I mean? I can send you a pre-qual that says Mickey Mouse is coming out with his settlement, but don't mean it's happening. Like, come on. All right, so let's talk about 2 years from now, future Val, 2024. Where do you want to be in business? What's some goals that you have set off that you're ready to check off as you come through?
Probably one of the biggest things is creating expansion business in another state. I have a love-hate relationship with New Jersey, right? Like, I've been here, I love it. It's centrally located to a lot of different things, but our property taxes, are still insane, and they're not getting any better, and nobody's doing the checks and balances at any level within the state to make sure, hey, we don't spend more than we have coming in. Like, it's bringing, if you and I ran our businesses the way the way the government, the state, the country, whatever is run, we'd be out of business, and nobody's handing us $1 million to bail us out, right? So for me, I look at, creating an opportunity in another state, probably South Carolina, Florida, or Tennessee.
Okay.
And I will create an expansion team, in one of those states and start to grow business there. I want to get more involved in, coaching and mentoring, newer agents.
Okay.
And probably at some point create a team. I don't want to have a team of, 10, 12, 15 people, but a team of, I don't know, 3 to 5.
Right, right.
You know, is good. Like I don't want to do $180 million, you know, as a real estate agent or as a real estate team. I learned a lot over the last couple of years being a solo agent and doing the business that I did. I was run down, I was beat down, I was exhausted, I was physically in pain. I feel like I had no quality of life. My emotions were all over the place. So going into this year, and when I moved over from, you know, my previous brokerage to Keller Williams, I was like, I'm not gonna go crazy, as I like to say, balls to the wall. I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna be more selective. I'm gonna focus in on sellers and then be very picky as to who my buyers are. And I'm gonna have a better quality of life.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
amazing
far I'm
how that
living
works,
it.
right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's awesome.
If you think it and you plan it, it will become.
There you go. Awesome. Val, thank you so much for
Thanks,
Oh wait,
Jim.
I gotta ask your personal
oh,
question.
oh.
I forgot. Take the handshake back.
Toot toot toot.
Okay, we're going music.
Oh,
If
music.
if you could have any musician, alive or dead, come to your house and play 2 songs, musician, band, anything like that, who's the musician and what 2 songs would it be for him to play live for you?
Oh, geez. See, I'm so not the best with like song names. So, I would definitely have Johnny Cash.
Okay, Johnny Cash.
And I love his version of Hurt.
Okay.
Love
yes.
his version of Hurt.
The 9 Inch Nails song.
So
for
I
sure.
would say him, and then probably. I used to love Madonna, but I don't like the pop stuff so
You don't like
much
pop
anymore.
stuff?
No. Oh man.
Old school Madonna, like a version.
Pearl,
or
I
something?
would have to have like Pearl Jam or Nirvana for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
And any song I'd be okay with because I don't think that either one of them have a bad song.
Awesome.
You know.
Great answer.